Hello everybody and welcome to this kid's vlog again. Yes, I did one this earlier this morning, but I just had to say something about a certain phenomenon that's been going on recently called Pokemon Go. Now, for those who don't know what Pokemon Go is, it is basically a Pokemon game app on your phone where you go around catching Pokemon. And the concept is that it's kind of like VR, virtual reality, where you have to go out and find Pokemon, but there are some good things and bad things about this. Let's talk about the cons first, because if I talk about the cons last, I feel like I'm promoting it. It's causing a lot of accidents. I'm just to get that elephant out of the room. It's causing a lot of accidents. People are getting hit by cars. People are getting ran over. People are getting into accidents. People are just getting hurt by doing this game, and people are finding dead bodies. Like, there's one incident where somebody found a dead body. There's people who are going into wrong neighborhoods. Stuff like that. Stuff I've heard. But then again, I don't know if it's true. I know the dead body one was a true story, but just honestly, I think people need to be careful when doing this game, because it's like, if you know it's a bad neighborhood, the Charizard is not worth your life. Or you know what, it really is. I'm sorry for even mentioning like bad areas. Hell, there's bad areas up in the mountains, so you could find a wild Charizard and find Bubba wanting to stick his centipede up your butt. Centipede, no. Caterpie, excuse me. But you should always be careful. I mean, and granted, I love Pokemon. I love the idea of, like, I love the story too. So it's like, if anything should be turned into a movie by the Wachowskis, yeah, that should be it. But I would talk about, like, the other things that people are maybe having complaints about it. It's like, people are going out playing Pokemon Go instead of looking for jobs, and it's like, fuck you and mind your own business. But there's also a lot of things too, I think, have more positives than negatives. Like, the negatives are just people need to pay attention. Like, the thing you can solve is people need to pay the fuck attention and not worry about a goddamn Charizard. Charizard can wait. And granted, yes, I prefer playing the games, because that's what I wanted. I wanted to play Pokemon on a console and catch Pokemon. But granted, it's a great phenomenon, and I feel like we need to be responsible with it. Secondly, Pokemon, what's the game I'm thinking of? I'm gonna start playing Blue again just to be a hipster. Ironically. No, I'd rather play just the Nintendo version, because you're safer. I don't know, I don't do phone apps, and I got in trouble for this on this. But I will talk about, the positives, because I think it's getting people outside. Now, you talk about lazy gamers who sit around on their PCs, lazy, like, we're described as like anti-social, but yet we're the most social people. But I will say this though about Pokemon Go and stuff like that and things of that nature. Just don't, like, if they're careful, they need to go, like, if they're getting exercise, they're going out, they're out, they're interacting with the world. Like, yes, they're on their phones, but they're not being antisocial. They're going out, meeting people. Hell, like, you could say, oh, they're not going out getting jobs. Hey, they could be like, well, damn, I need to, like, they look at their phone and they're like, well, I need to not stop playing this for a while. I need a job. They look, they're in the city, right? And they're in, like, or whatever, they're like in the business district, and they turn, and they see a restaurant, a business, whatever. And it has a help wanted sign and goes, I could play Pokemon Go while playing this. Okay. And, you know, I can pay money for this, and you get a job. You got a job! So, another thing I get a little annoyed with, too, is the fact that, you know, I feel like it also helps promote exercise, and also, I think we kind of forget the core basis of Pokemon is, and I hope people kind of remember what this is really about, and it's not about the cheapest designed Pokemon. I feel like it's also about discovering nature. That's the point of the game. You know, Ash's Pokedex, when he flips and he's like, Pikachu, it is a fire, electric type Pokemon. It is a Pokemon that simple, but yet it kind of gets kids interested in evolution and dinosaurs and animals, biology, nature itself. I think Ash is a great hero because he doesn't catch the Pokemon. Like, he's not, you know, you talk about Gary, he's like, I got several Pokemon. Ash is just like, no, I got a few of these, but I have these Pokemon, but I've seen a lot of crazy Pokemon, and they shouldn't be captured. We shouldn't just be capturing them and dueling them. Like, if they ever make a Pokemon movie, mine is going to be an environmental message, and it's not going to be anti-Pokemon, but more rights to Pokemon, in a sense. So imagine, if you will, and this is, I'm going to put this as thoughts on Pokemon Go and rant, Pokemon movie pitch. It basically, it's going to start out like a 8 quadrilogy, 8 movies, like Harry Potter. But in each one, you get to see Ash go up against getting different badges. So yeah, and the idea of this movie would be his plot throughout the course of the movie, that he's learning about different Pokemon, because Ash is like, I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. And he mentions his father, and he's like, I want to be like my dad. The dad has been missing for years. He's like, you're not sure if he's dead, or he's alive, or he's hiding. Or it's Giovanni, or Giovanni's his uncle. But, Ash is like, I want to catch, it's basically the cartoon story, and then, like, he meets Gary, and Gary's kind of a dick. Gary's just, like, egocentric, asshole jerk, and Professor Oak's the opposite. Professor Oak is more of a guy who's like, I like to study Pokemon. I don't like to capture them, I like to study them. Gary's more in lines of, like, fuck you, I'm gonna catch them all. He's kind of obsessive of catching them all. He's egocentric. But Ash is kind of hot-headed, but he's also kind of like still a good kid underneath that ego. And he's late for getting his Pokemon too, if you've ever seen the first episode. And he's given Pikachu. And throughout the thing, they hate each other. He's getting electrocuted. Pikachu's, he's hating on Pikachu's trying to get Pikachu in the Pokeball, and throughout that course of their story, like in the beginning of the first movie, Pikachu kind of shares a bond with Ash, because Ash was protecting him from other Pokemon, and Pikachu was like, wait, this human wants to protect me? Like, he doesn't understand, but like, Pikachu lets out this electrical shock and like attacks all these other Pokemon, because it's also raining too. And then he sees like this mystical legendary type flying in the sky, and he's like, and his if you've ever seen the first episode, it's like that, and his Pokédex gives a thing about there are many other Pokemon out there, that have not been yet discovered, but yet we can surely know what they are. Like, and this will be like simple back to basics Pokemon. And so in the first movie, he meets Misty, who's, I think it's Misty or Brock. No, it's Brock. He meets Brock, and he meets Misty and Brock, and, Brock's personality is the ladies' man. He's trying to get, some, hoochie coo. And then you've got Misty, who's, very whiny, very kind of the C-3PO, very, princess type. And then you got Ash, who's just adventurous. He's a boy. And then you got Pikachu, the cute, deadly electrified creature. And Pikachu's fucking awesome. I don't care if they have the newest cute Pokemon. He is Pokemon. So, anyway, this pitch of the movie goes, and it's, you have Team Rocket trying to catch them, too. Like, you got Team Rocket trying to catch a Pikachu, because there's a special Pikachu. Giovanni needs all kind of electric types. That's why in the story, in the main arc, in the backstory, electric Pokemon are going missing. Like, certain Pokemon are going missing. Electric types, this types, and it's very random. And Team Rocket is a gang that is behind us. And the only 2 members that are just, like, incompetent, but really they're not bad people. They just are not bad. They're just good people who just do bad decisions. And they're accompanied by, Meowth, who's just like, give them wisecracks. So the 3 of them are just kind of catching them. So throughout the arc of the movie, they had to discover each other. And like, James came from a rich family, left because he wanted to be more adventurous. Jesse grew up in a poor family, needed, an excuse to be with the gang. Same thing with Meowth. Meowth is kind of a freak because he was born like this. In the cartoon, he learned to do this. But in this, I wanted him to be kind of like the one keystone in evolution, maybe. I don't know. But, and then you've got their arc through. They go to Levittown, they go to so-and-so town, Flower Town, until they get to the end of the movie. The end of the movie, it's the final duel. It's between Gary and Ash. And Ash, they're having a grand old battle. He does not have a lot of Pokemon. He's got like 6 or 7. He's got about like 10. That's it. And Ash Ash, Gary has all these Pokemon, and it's like a major battle, and Ash is, choosing which Pokemon to choose out. He chooses Pikachu, Squirrel, those guys, and they have them grand battle, and they're fighting each other, they're doing, use Tauntauta, some shit like that. And it comes to Pikachu and one other Pokemon. I'm not sure what type, but maybe a Raichu, because maybe Ash, because Pikachu is still learning to be, better Pokemon until he's like, because I want Pikachu and Ash to evolve too as characters, and not metaphorically, but he has a Raichu or some kind of Pokemon type, maybe like a rock type, I don't know, like Gary did, and there's no rain, and Pikachu gets hurt, like badly hurt, not like almost faint and just get knocked out and put in the Pokeball. He almost gets killed. And Ash just, automatically gets to running out there, getting his Pokemon, and people are kind of stunned, like, he cares about this Pokemon, and the Pokemon see this, and they are, like, thinking, wait, this guy isn't so bad, like, this guy actually gives a shit about Pokemon. It's not about catching them all, it's about discovering them all. It's about understanding, catching them all, catching the knowledge. It's like, yes, it's catch them all, but really, if you look at Pokemon, they're interesting. It's not about catching them all, it's about understanding them all. It's about understanding them, and how they work, and why they're there, and why they're here. Like, they're kind of like mystical beasts, in the sense, like, the whole idea of it's like they're mystical beasts, they're part of nature. Like, you can't really capture nature and use it for your own gains. And so, yeah, and everybody's like, clearly Gary's the winner, but they're all so at the movie, like, the other Pokemon are helping Ash, like, are walking out with Ash, and disobeying their masters. Everybody's screaming, Joe, get back here, Eevee, and everybody's losing their shit. And even Gary's like, I'm the winner here, I won! Showing how big of a dickhead he is. Gary Oak is kind of like, just turns to Gary, Professor Oak turns to Gary and goes, shut up, you whiny little jerk. You whiny little douche. Yes! He calls him, oh, know your name? Damn, I forgot your name. Is it douchebag? Like, something on that line, like that joke, like naming your opponent. So, anyhow, the movie ends. Ash is kind of rewarded this kind of hero. Like, he's now seen as like the spokesperson for Pokemon rights, in a sense, in their world. And James and Jesse kind of quit Team Rocket and just become Pokemon trainers themselves, and like travel with Ash. Like, they turn good, and Giovanni's like, fuck you. And then you get to like two last movies, and I know I said 8, but the 2 last movies are basically them going after Giovanni, and I say 2 because the last thing should be about Giovanni and finding Ash's Pokemon, because Giovanni has now created Mewtwo, and is now going to destroy the world with Mewtwo, and this is when you get into the beyond territory, and they're trying to, Giovanni, is a bastard. He's trying to create Mewtwo, and Mewtwo is like slowly becoming out of control in his grasp. And Giovanni, and then there's a point in it where Giovanni exposes to because Giovanni wants to, basically world domination, and he believes that if he has a higher level Pokemon of the grand scale, he can do whatever he wants. And so he makes Mewtwo out of Mew's DNA. And throughout those 2 movies, you see hints of Mew everywhere, and this is kind of leading into the first movie, where Giovanni creates Mewtwo, and basically everybody's going against him. And you have Ash's father come back, and he's like, oh, my brother's such an asshole. And yes, Giovanni is not the father. Ash's dad is like this wild, crazy kind of like, hey, just helping out the Pokemon, understanding them, sorry I left you and your mother behind. Just trying to run away from Giovanni. Also, he was hiding out from Giovanni too, because Giovanni was like, he was trying to hurt them, and he was trying to stop them from getting Mew's DNA. And he's talking about how Mew is an ethereal Pokemon, like basically such a legendary type. He's a psychic type, but he's like alien, like supreme alien, like, you know what I mean, like Dr. Manhattan, or kind of like Alf, you know what I mean, or Yoda. And Mew's not a battling Pokemon, and he's kind of like looking at Ash, and he's kind of like, there are moments where he's kind of behind Ash, and Ash is like seeing this Pokemon. It's not threatening, but it's like curious. It's not. You look at it, it's kind of dumb-minded. Like the way Doug Walker would look at it, it's like, is this mentally retarded? And we'll get into that moment. So anyway, Ash, you know. Ash, Pikachu, Gary, Misty, few others in the movies too, like the gym leaders and stuff like that, and people they met before who were like Pokemon experts, are on this. Jesse James is there, Gary, Professor Oak is there, and they're all gonna go battle Giovanni, and Giovanni has bad Pokemon too, and they're fighting there. It's like, no, this is wrong, we can't fight them, and it's like, you have to. And towards the end, Mewtwo is unleashed, you know, in the second movie. They fight Giovanni, and Giovanni is injured, like seriously fucked up by Mewtwo. Mewtwo's gonna fucking ruin everybody's day. And the one that everybody stops him, tries to stop him. And I'm not gonna pull the same bullshit in Pokemon, the first movie where Ash turns to stone. I'm gonna have everybody fight and almost lose until Mew comes along. Until Mew challenges, you know, Mewtwo. And they're fighting, it's a psychic battle. Mew is stronger than Mewtwo. Like, it's not because he's a clone, it's the fact that Mew is not angry. He's not aggressive. He's not doing this out of hatred. He's doing this out of love. He's not trying to hurt Mewtwo. That's why he's not attacking, but he's defending. It's like, basically, Tiger versus Crane. Like, Mewtwo being Tiger and just kind of like trying to destroy him. It's like, I have a reason to live. Like, Mewtwo knows how to talk, and even when you hear Mew talk, it's like, or you don't hear him talk, but you can understand like they're communicating. Like you've been too angry. Like, you have a purpose. You are a Pokemon. You can choose your path. You don't have to choose this. Basically, like telling him, you don't have to choose the path of evil. Now, I could do what they did in Dark Knight Returns behind the scenes. If you don't know about this, look it up. If Mew said to Mewtwo, "I'm tired," and Mewtwo's just like he doesn't know how to react, but he's like, I'm tired too, like, and just kind of like look at that and be like, they just hug each other, and they're just like, what's the point of fighting? It's like, I'm angry that I exist, you know. It's about existence. It's like, why does Pokemon exist? Because it does. Because it's there to find something. So the ending is basically this message about not just fandom, not just this deep level of like, yeah, if you love something, it's about like love and caring and shit like that. I know it sounds so cheesy and dorky, but that's what Pokemon is about. It's like a community. Like, we have a fascination about this one thing, and yet we want to share with other people. Some people don't get it, some people find profit out of it, but when we really look at it, it's about love. It's about like community. It's about brotherly love. It's just, you know, sharing something that you have in common with people, with that's not black, it's not skin color, it's not race, it's not ethnicity. It's, you know, not on a superficial level. It's on a sub level of like, you like Pokemon, sure, and some people won't get it. You get motorheads out there. You've got people who are into guns. You have people who are into football. You have people into Metal Gear. You have people into, you know, Magic the Gathering. But you know what? At the end of the day, we're all on the same page on like what we like, and we have people around us that we love and play games with. And yeah, that's the story of Pokemon. That's my pitch of a Pokemon movie. So yeah, that my Pokemon like idea of a franchise. So, with that being said, the movie ends, everybody has a happy ending. Jesse and James get married. Yes, it should happen. Meowth is kind of accepted amongst other Meowths, and they kind of look at him as a leader because he can speak, and he goes back to doing some certain things. Like, yeah, he knows how to speak language, but he goes back on going back on his hind legs, and it feels natural. It feels okay for him to do it. Yes, he can talk, but he's the special one who can be communicating with other Pokemon and know how they feel and do stuff. So it's like, yes, he can be the one that can help us. You know, Mew and Mewtwo go out into space, and basically Mew helps Mewtwo like find himself, like find his center, and it's just like, thank you, like, to let go of that anger. Giovanni is arrested and just like doesn't like. I'm not sure if he should be arrested or if he should be kind of like thrown in jail. But Jesse, you know, James and, you know, Ash's father fucking and his mother get back together and they have a cleaning jinx with them who just doesn't mind cleaning for them.